Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. Thank you for a lovely dinner last night. Good conversations, good atmosphere. Very, very nice. So it's a pleasure as Mayor of Stavanger to introduce our delegation for the World Chamber of Commerce for 2023. So in our delegation here today, we have the ambassador to France, Oda Helene Sletnes. So pleased to have her here. And we also have CEO of Stavanger Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Harald Minge. And we have Director of Innovation Norway in France, Mrs. Tove Eliassen. And her advisor, Mrs. Anne Lisbeth Tollones. And we have Director of Events from Stavanger Convention Bureau, Mrs. Annette Larsen Bukne. And we have also my advisor, Mrs. Hilde Faret Born. And we have Project Manager at Stavanger Chamber of Commerce, Mrs. Randi Mansåker. And we also have Communication Manager of Stavanger Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Egil Hollund. So I hope you will enjoy our presentation. Thank you.
Days without sunlight, and nights without darkness, stretching far beyond the Arctic Circle. Norway is powered by nature. And so are we. With a society that strongly believes in equality, together with free healthcare and education, everyone has the opportunity to pursue their dreams, making us the happiest people in the world. Our coastline, rivers, and fjords form the backbone of our main industries. That's why we are pioneers within marine technology, aquaculture, and energy. And all our electricity comes from clean hydropower. The future of our planet is uncertain, but we choose to be optimistic. We believe that only together we can succeed. Adapting new technology, we must strive to design greener, better, and smarter. By exploring the exceptional, we are pushing for a new standard.
So it's my pleasure to introduce our bid for the World Chamber Congress in 2023. You might be thinking, why Norway? Why Stavanger? And you might think it sounds like a mission impossible. We don't think so. We think it's a mission possible. And so did Tom Cruise when he invited half of Hollywood to film on the top of our pulpit rock in 2017, Mission Impossible 6. Clinging from the rock face, 624 meters above sea level, he says this was one of the most exciting experiences he's had in his life. And we think that we give the delegates the same kind of experience in 2023. So, why Norway? Due to our natural resources, our sovereign fund currently sits at $1,250 billion US. This is why organizations and governments come to Norway to learn about the Norwegian model. We've also been voted best value for money as a convention destination. And we're actually 30% cheaper than we used to be. Stavanger is the energy capital of Europe, and we're used to hosting large conferences. We've got excellent Congress venues, and every second year we host the Offshore Northern Seas Conference with over 70,000 delegates. In addition to government support, we have our municipal administration supporting us, we've got the other chambers in Norway support, and we've got the Energy City Alliance support also. Stavanger is equipped to greet your delegates. We've got excellent restaurants, several with a Michelin star, we've got good hotels and great public transport. The Stavanger region has over 300,000 people living there. And our motto is, big enough to deliver, but small enough to care. We propose pioneering sustainability as a central theme for the Congress, with particular focus on energy, gender equality, smart cities, and aquaculture. You've probably noticed on the pictures there's a silhouette. Do you know what the silhouette is? It's a Viking ship. The Vikings were our first pioneers. These were built over 1,000 years ago, and the Vikings were the first to cross over to North America, and our first pioneers. We continue to pioneer the oceans also today, building the world's largest oil platforms. The need for a sustainable future is the biggest challenge of our time, and pioneering sustainability is a natural topic for the conference that brings chambers from all over the world together. 98% of our electricity production is from renewable resources, and 50% of cars that are sold in Norway today are full electric. Together with the ONS Foundation, which is a world-leading organisation facilitating discussions, collaboration on technology and innovation in the energy sector, Nordic Edge, which is Norway's official innovation cluster, and Blue Planet, which is a world provider and expertise for aquaculture, we know that we'll be able to put together a program which will be valuable for all the delegates. The Chamber has already launched a pioneer, an initiative to premiere the first commercial electric flight ready for the conference in 2023. We'll be able to tell you how we're coming along with that project, and perhaps also be able to invite you on board this full electric flight. When we promise you pioneering sustainability, we mean it. And we believe that this is a mission possible. During the conference, we'll also introduce you to our ambassador program. Our region has over 180 different nationalities residing there. We'll be able to provide all the delegates with a host from their home country speaking their language, able to speak, answer questions, and facilitate their time in Norway. We believe that this will add value to their time, and so they get the most out of their stay in Norway. By choosing Stavanger, you'll be guaranteed personal involvement from all levels of our community. Mission impossible? We don't think so. During the conference, we want to organise a masterclass and put natural resource management on the agenda. We'll provide the LDC countries with free and reduced fees, in addition to direct financial support. In addition to the conference, the delegates will be able to explore all the wonderful things that Norway has to offer. Why not travel to Svalbard and see the polar bears? Or up to the north of Norway and experience the midnight sun? From our airport in Stavanger, there is easy access to all over the world, taking delegates far and wide. So now that you've heard our presentation, we hope that you're also convinced that Stavanger will be the perfect venue for the World Congress in 2023, where the focus is on sustainable future with world-leading industries in a very picturesque environment. It will definitely be a World Congress to remember and one of great value. Together we'll be pioneering sustainability, which definitely should be a mission possible. Welcome to our home in 2023, where we are big enough to deliver, but small enough to care. Stavanger Chamber of Commerce is Norway's largest chamber with over 2,000 member companies and represents Norway's third largest city region and the energy capital of Norway and Northern Europe. The city has for many years been a host for international congresses and exhibitions, the largest one being the biannual Offshore Northern Seas, one of the largest energy conferences in the world with over 60,000 participants.
Stavanger dui ke ho amajocho duvovoma amucho duvovoma abalofa de kakle enyi ena.
मैं आपकी ज़ुबान में आपकी मदद करने के लिए यहाँ पे एक एम्बेसडर हूँ.
Estamos ansiosos para recebê-los em Stavanger em 2023.
Norway is the perfect place to put our common future challenges on the agenda: energy, sustainability and smart societies and cities. Surrounded by the fjords, the mountains and world-famous pulpit rock, our region is also a significant producer and player when it comes to renewable energy. A Scandinavian hub for smart city technology in addition to the oil and gas industry.
On behalf of Stavanger, I welcome you all to our beautiful region, and I look forward to seeing you in 2023.
Thank you very much. Thanks for keeping with the time and for the interesting presentation. We learned a lot. So now it's the time for Q&A from the jury. Yes, so we'll take one from the back.
Thank you for the presentation. I observed you mentioned about developing countries on the natural resources. Any other strategic intervention you have for the developing countries? Thank you.
So any from the delegation can answer this.
Yeah, I didn't hear all of your questions, so I'm sorry for that, but I can say a little bit more about it. In Stavanger, we have for many years had an organization called Petra, who has, with the government support, provided a course up to 6 months, and also smaller ones, to set this agenda and discuss how to do these things in the best way. So we are, together with them, putting together this program. Was that the answer to your question?
Yeah. Okay, we have another one, Adam, in the middle.
Thank you very much for an excellent, excellent presentation. As your neighbours in the United Kingdom, of course, we have very easy connectivity to you, our friends in Norway, but some of our colleagues, of course, are coming from around the world. It would be helpful if you could possibly elaborate a bit more on the connectivity question.
And maybe the visa as well, if that's an issue.
For easy access, we can guarantee you we have 53 direct flights out of Stavanger to the major hubs such as Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Madrid, and it's all from there, as you saw in the photo, just one stop into to Stavanger. And that would not have been possible without the energy sector pushing for direct flights and good connectivity and easy access. And we also have the big biannual energy conference and expo, which is bringing together, at the peak it has had 92 visitors during the 5 days and 14,000 delegates coming to Stavanger. So that would not have been able if it hadn't been for easy access. So you will, yeah. Does that reply your, yes?
Maybe the visa part?
The visa, yes.
I'm happy to confirm from the government of Norway how much we are behind the application from Stavanger municipality and how pleased we would be to see in Stavanger such a congress and such an event creating opportunities, but also I think interesting possibilities for those who come to that part of our country. When it comes to Norwegian visa policy, I can assure you that Norway is part of the Schengen cooperation and we are completely in line with all other European countries part of that cooperation, including Switzerland actually, when it comes to the necessities or the restrictions or the opportunities to travel and to stay, Schengen visa is also, of course, valid in Norway as it is in the whole of Europe.
Thank you. Yes. We have,
Thank you. That was a lovely presentation. I didn't hear much around budgets, financing, and pricing. I was wondering if you could expatiate on that.
Yes, the total budget for the conference is just over 1.2 million euros. When it comes to the delegation fees, the normal fee suggested is 850 euros, early bird at 750 euros, and LAD country for 550 euros.
And for the general, just very quickly on the general price range, Norway has been known as an expensive country, but that is a little bit incorrect. The last few years, the currency has gone down for Norwegian kroners, and we are now 30% cheaper. So we have actually been rated one of the best value for money convention destinations. And so just as an example, for the average rate for an hotel room in Stavanger in 2019 was on average 90 euros. And for something between 90 and 140 euros per night. So, now we feel when we go elsewhere that it's a little bit more expensive, absolutely.
Can you also tell us in this subjects about the availability of the rooms and then the availability of the hotel rooms?
We've already made reservations just for a block in case we would be fortunate and honored to be host. So that is already arranged that there are availability for the conference. Absolutely.
Yes, we have a question here in the front. There's a mic.
Sorry, very quick question. Dates, I didn't hear about the date.
We are flexible on the date, but we are suggested the 7th to the 9th of June. I have to check, I don't remember all the numbers, but it's in the beginning of June. It's the traditional time for the Congress. And there's also a beautiful time in Norway. The summer has come, and it's hotter, actually hotter than it normally is.
It's nice weather. That's we have a question here.
Thank you so much for the great presentation. I would like just to highlight something. There is a 3 bidders, and I consider that the 3 bidders, they are winner. Why I'm saying they are winner? For any country to come to present their country here, they are winners because we have the chambers, and the chambers, they represent business, and this is also a great marketing for your city. So congratulations. I have only one question for you. What's your experience on organizing mega conference? What's the most prestigious conference? How many numbers do you attend?
The chamber actually was a host for the Euro Chamber Congress back in 2005. So the chamber itself has experience with also organizing international conferences. We are one of the owner of the Nordic Edge Conference, which is an international conference that actually are 5 times bigger than this. We have that every year. And we organize about 180 small and bigger conferences during a year in the chamber. So we are very familiar with organizing events.
We have a question here.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I've got, can you elaborate a little bit about your team, which is pioneering sustainability? Because is there a risk that it's too specialized a topic in order to gather the interests of many chambers around the world? Because chambers deal with a host of topics, not just sustainability. So are you taking a risk by being a bit narrow in terms of your team?
Yes, the team, actually I have to tell you, the term sustainable development was invented by the former Norwegian Prime Minister Gro Harlem Brundtland back in the 80s when she was in charge of a UN report back then. So Norway has a long experience with talking about sustainable development. As we mentioned in the presentation, we see three main themes surrounding this. Energy is one of them. Energy being the most important topic to reach the goals of a sustainable future. Secondly, smarter cities. That's also a big part of that. And food, and especially aquaculture, that is our specialty, seafood. So food, smarter solution, and energy. If we solve these three, I think the world will have the opportunity to a sustainable future. Yes.
One last question, if any. Okay, it seems the presentation being very inclusive and it covered everything that we require. We'd like to thank you for bidding for this opportunity. I would like to thank you for being here with us, and especially Mayor Kari. And we wish you all the best going forwards. Thank you.